Hey, everybody, welcome back to Comedian Video Game Commentary. Ted, wake up, Ted. Wake up, Ted.
Doing it. Hey, yo.
Hey, there you are. There you are. So, I apologize in advance. We're still working things out on the technical side. Some of you guys watching on YouTube may have seen that it said Comedian Video Game Commentary Friday, October 24th, 2025 show. So just a heads up, you're not a month in the future. We set up our StreamYard shows ahead of time, scheduled out, and for whatever reason, I was rushing, setting up, and I jumped in. I clicked on the October 24th show. So just a heads up, you're not crazy. It does say October 24th. Should have been September 26th, obviously. So, guys, welcome back. Comedian Video and Commentary. I'm joined by uh, the returning comedian, stand-up comic, content creator Ted E.D. And just a little bit about this guy. Uh, looking back, looking like a backwoods accountant, a legend in his own right, coming in at 5'11", a humble creative genius, Mr. Premise Land Ted E.D.
Good.
Yeah, did you hear that applause?
I did.
Good. Just making sure. All right. So I kind of messed up there. But good to have you here, buddy. It's good to be back. You came aboard last season, or trying to get out of the whole seasons phase, but the shows we did last year, late summer 2024. So good to have you back, buddy. Really quick, do you want to just tell everybody, just reintroduce the audience to you, what you're doing, Ted over at Premise Land?
Oh, of course. I'm usually working on a lot of things because I'm a bit of a masochist, but I make shorts and multiple types of content on my YouTube, The Premise Land, mostly on the YouTubes. I'm also The Premise Land on TikTok, and you can find me as The Premise Land on basically all my social media, Facebook, where I'm Teddy. Uh, and yeah, just got a lot of stuff going. So
A lot of stuff going. Yep. And once again, guys, you guys are watching Comedian Video Game Commentary. Feel free to look us up. We are on YouTube, Odyssey. Well, not Odyssey. We're on we're on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch. Soon to be back on Kick, Instagram, and TikTok. So make sure to give us a follow. I got to do my plugs. So let's see here. All right. So once again, you guys can follow us on. Oop, here it is. All right. So you guys can follow us. We're here on YouTube. We're also, like I said, on Rumble and also Twitch. We were on Instagram. Whatever reason, we got kicked off of there. We aren't really spamming that much, but apparently it was spam or something got us kicked off of there. So we got to create a new Instagram, and then we're going to be on Kick and also TikTok. Our TikTok is still up. We just got to start putting up clips on there. So feel free to give us a follow. Comedian Video Game Commentary, where comedians and video games meet. Um, I'm actually doing this show right now, guys, from the One Night Stands Comedy Club out here in Waterford, Michigan. So a new part of our show moving forward. Each show, at least while I'm still around, is gonna have us coming in from different comedy clubs. So here in the Detroit area, you got Planet Ant, Detroit, and Hamtramck. You got Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. You got One Night Stands. You got Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, Go Comedy Improv in Ferndale. All types of different stuff going on. So we just like to try and bring you different places. I'm gonna be out in LA later this fall. We're gonna try and bring you some live shows from wherever I'm at there. And yeah, just keep it going. So make sure you guys subscribe, like, give us a follow. Once again, you're not gonna get any commentary like this with comedians talking about different video games and just being silly with it. All right, Ted. So I will have you have the honor of going first. This is where we talk about, reminisce about our favorite video games, either we're playing right now, games we played in the past, a childhood nostalgic video game. And since it's a little two of us, since it's a little light tonight, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the first turn. So, what game are we looking up, talking about, breaking down, or making fun of tonight?
With a classic, which
Hmm?
this game made me love bad who don't look like badasses. I'll say that much. And it's
Okay.
Kirby, and mostly
It-
just from my
It's
favorite
what?
commercial, Kirby Dreamland.
Kirby's Dreamland. Oh snap! You know you're from Detroit. We spell Kirby with an E because it's always I was thinking of Coney Island.
Oh,
Yeah. I almost put in a KE. All right, so break this down. I killed it at Kirby on the Super Smash Brothers 64. Like I was a bad I used him like no other weapon. But go ahead and break this down. I'm not. This game missed me. What's going on here?
well, Kirby All Stars. I think it's a combination of several Kirby games that just did not make it to the states. At least that's
Mm,
what I believe. Um, but it's just different adventures of our protagonist Puffball Kirby as
mm,
he bad dreams and nightmares uh, of his world. And he does this by mimicking the powers of his enemy. And
okay.
and again, I love it. Like if you've ever seen the commercial for the OG game, Dreamland,
Mm-hmm.
it's him put up against this like Rambo looking like character. And the Rambo's like, "What are you gonna do?" or something like this. I'm probably not describing it well, but then Kirby, and I'm like, I love this character. Like I wanna,
Mm-hmm.
because it just seems like a whole lot of fun. And like I said, I love cute characters that can kick some ass. And
Like that.
Kirby, that I feel he,
Interesting. Cause like with Kirby, I felt like for me, I wasn't that familiar with Kirby. It seemed like in '64, you had Kirby on Super Smash Brothers, and then you had like what? When did Kirby make his debut? Was it in Nintendo, Super Nintendo? I feel like it was the N64 era is when Kirby really blew up, and that's one of the first time I took notice of Kirby. To be
uh,
honest with you.
was actually the OG Nintendo. Um, before
Okay.
Super, yeah, um, where it was like it was. I didn't. I don't think it even had color that game. Uh,
Nintendo had color. Come on.
the Kirby game didn't really have any color. So,
Really? I mean, all right. I want to know, but yeah, I didn't. I just remember the Nintendo at least having color. They were like
oh yeah, yeah. I mean
big
later,
giant pixels.
of course. But in later games there was color. But like I remember, like the OG game, there wasn't really any color. Um,
Mm,
it's crazy considering how it seems like a world that he lives in should be very colorful.
right.
Was no color, but
Just like your granddad's TV 50 years ago, no color. Yeah.
do. Um, but I think what I liked about it is like they had the game all had like little mini games. Like his main one of his main villains is called King DDD, who's this
Mm,
big dumb looking penguin like creature. And in some of the mini games, you challenge him to like a samurai showdown, and then like if you win, you pie his face, like in like a nice anime slash.
hmm
But they did make the game like brutal and violent, so it was a pie instead of a sword, slashing. You know how everybody in anime has extremely high blood pressure. That's why it's like a giant, like a blood geyser whenever you hit them. Kirby wasn't like so,
Yep.
but
All
yeah,
right.
but it's
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
he's so that's what I loved about him.
Yeah. So all right. So Kirby, this came out. This come out like what year is this? Was this
This
mid '90s, late '90s, towards the tail end of the '64 era? You know,
state,
I'm yeah.
um, like back when I was a kid in the 1900s. Uh, but I don't know the exact year, but I want to say early '90s is my best guess. Um,
Okay, 'cause I'm thinking the kid. This is '64 clearly. The 60 N64 dropped in '96 though. I think like
yes,
early '96 N64 dropped. Yeah, so it's clearly between '96 to maybe '99 at the latest. So yeah, definitely Kirby peak era. All right, um, man, I, I, like I said, he was one of my best secret weapons. Was Super Smash Brothers '64. Was Kirby, Link, and other one's escaping me.
yeah.
But man, I used to throw down. You
Most I would piss my friends off because he had that that flip slash move
know.
where if you stay on the corner, you know how you knock the other characters off the stage. You
Mm-hmm.
choose a corner and they try and get up. You just like bam, just slap them down. I think they nerfed that in later Smash Bros. But yeah, but
Or like, we always had that friend or even like that relative that grabbed the controller and they press the same two buttons
yeah,
and basically they slay everybody off of just not, don't even know what they're doing, but
yeah,
somehow I mean you can't do that today. Call of Duty, Fortnite, you just get Boulders Gate, you get slaughtered. But back then, you can just be like, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm murdering everybody."
yeah.
Unaliving that is. Yeah.
Do this and like you shoot like 50 fireballs, kill your opponent or whatever. Yeah, but no, I got fond memories. There was a game for Super Nintendo called Kirby All Stars, which I played a lot.
Oh yeah, I do remember Kirby All Stars. Yeah, I do remember it. I may have probably played it once or twice. Maybe somebody else that had it, but I do remember Kirby All Stars like when that came out. Yeah.
When I was I took care of my grandpa for for most of
Mm-hmm.
my 20s. When I first moved
Uh,
in, Super Nintendo and Kirby All Stars was one of the games I had, and I would
mm
just play the hell out of Kirby All Stars. Um, but it was just I didn't mind it. It was just that fun a game to me. Um, yeah, but yeah, like I said, I've always had a soft spot in my heart.
mm. And in that heart, that spot remains. All right. All right. Good stuff, Ted. Uh-oh, you blacked out. Ted? Uh-oh. We lost Ted, y'all. Okay. All right. While Ted's coming back to us, I'm going to go to my pick. Classic, at least to my heart. Ted, where you at? And it's going to be weird how to gameplay this because you just can't play the gameplay of The Sims once. So this should be kind of interesting. Uh, put in a retrospective or something. Hey, Ted. Ted. Oh, all right, guys. We lost Ted. Once again, guys, are watching Comedian Video Game Commentary. I'm your host, Hayward Crawford, comedy writer and producer. We're still trying to get Ted back. He kind of blacked out for a minute. I'm not sure if it's just on my end, but yeah, I'm even looking on the stream and I don't see you. Hold on a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, you had to take a call. All right, so he'll be coming back to us shortly. Um, so Ted, try leaving the stream yard, coming back. Yep, that's why we can't try not to be on the phone. We try and stick to laptop and tablets, but things happen. We do what we got to do. All right, so Ted, try leaving the stream yard, coming back. All right, so I'm gonna share, guys. The Sims 2. This came out in the fall of 2004, September 2004, as the video says. So, Sims dropped in 2000. And those of you guys remember the PC days, there was Sim Park, there was Sim Town, there was Sim City, Sim City 2000. We're going to get to all those. Let me actually write those down right now. Sim Park, Sim City. I'll put Sim City 2000. I don't remember playing Sim City. And then The Sims in 2000. So those of you guys just remember the PC days of the 90s. I forgot if we got to maybe Google it, whether it was Sim Park or Sim Town that came first. I think it was Sim Town. Man, but that Sim, man, these are epic games where you get to simulate life in the most peculiar way. All right, I see Ted's back.
What the hell happened?
Hey, buddy. Oh,
So,
yeah,
so
yeah, you took the call. All good.
yeah.
All right, well, good to have you back. I was just about to get into my pick, The Sims 2. All right. And I just want to kind of set the stage on Sims 2. So, Ted, do you remember The Sims?
I
Sims
do.
2?
I never really played it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I once in a blue moon here and there. Um, just because, like, I don't know. To me, it felt like a reality show, and I was never big on reality shows.
Mm-hmm.
Although, admittedly, I did bring the sim characters, trapping them in the pool and
Yeah, drowning them and
yeah,
setting fires. We've
uh,
all been there. We've all done that, unfortunately. Uh, so I'm going to kind of break down for those that may not remember kind of the PC days of the 90s. And this was kind of, I'm sure there were other subculture parts of the PC gaming culture I may have missed, but I like the Sim. There was Sim Town, there was Sim Park,
you know,
then there was Sim City 2000, and it all slowly built up to like the Sims. The Sims dropped in 2000, and I believe it was either Sim Park, it was probably Sim Town first, starting in mid 90s, maybe 95, 96. Sim Park, Sim Park, Sim Town, probably Sim Park, Sim City 2000, and then we have the Sims. So like, and I'm gonna probably discuss all those different reiterations. But me and my siblings growing up, we love those games, and it just kind of slowly kept building up. We're finally they were like, we're gonna do the Sims. And I'm pretty sure we can go to Wikipedia and see all the awards and just how groundbreaking it was. Because like you said, it did have like a weird reality show to it, kind of mixed with like sea monkeys, like digital virtual sea monkeys, because these are people that you created from scratch to start a family, but then you were able to build their houses from scratch. So you weren't just designing a character. You can either like get these houses that were pre-built, or you could build the whole houses up. So Sim 2 just kind of changed the game. I remember buying that from like all the random places, Costco. I think I went there with my parents one Sunday or one afternoon. It was like on sale. I saved up enough allowance money. I was able to go and buy it. So this is the Sims 2. We're talking about 2000. So 4 years later comes along Sims that drops in fall of 2004. So once again, I'm just gonna play this video without the sound, obviously. But yeah, I don't know if this kind of fueled my little filmmaking storytelling roots, but it was just so interesting how you were able to just to create these worlds. You're able to create these people. You know, basically, uh, let kind of nurse them, train them, have them go to work, get a job. Looking back, it was hours of my life. It was hours of my high school life that I probably won't get back. But then again, I'm sure people who were at the time they were playing Unreal Tournament or whatever it was, they didn't get those hours back of their life either. But man, I'm telling you, like I would take like my favorite TV shows or movies of the time, and I would recreate those characters as a family, and they would like live off, and I would try to live. I would uh, I would like have them try and do those similar storylines, like different characters. And even back then, there was like, because I had like at the time in our house, we had like a compact Presario PC. And I remember in 2004, not only was it when The Sims 2 that came out, 2004 was the first year I ever got exposed to a USB port.
Oh,
So I don't know if that was late to the party, but we had like an old computer, the Windows or whatever it was. So I remember we got a new computer, a compact Presario in 2000, like midsummer 2004. I was looking for the floppy disk. I'm looking over here like, where floppy disk at? Literally, it's 2004. I was looking for floppy disk, and it was just this little new port. Oh, this is a USB. Oh, okay. And I had to go to the store, buy a USB, figure that out. So I guess that was maybe late to the party, but that was that experience of The Sims 2 was seminal with me first getting exposed to a USB port. Sadly, all right. So yeah, just with this game, like just so many hours spent, but at the same time, like I said, I was creating storylines for my favorite movies and TV shows, and I would create characters like based off of that and kind of recreate storylines as the Sims game. So I went deep with it, bro. I went deep with it. But Ted, you said you weren't really you never really got into the Sims or anything like that.
it wasn't my game at the time. Um, just because like I only really enjoyed like messing with the characters a little bit, and then I was like, all right, um, and I kind of got bored with it, but
Hmm. Yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Oh no no. Yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say because yeah, it is looking back like I would never go back and try and do all this again.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but at the same time, like I had screenshots. That was the first time I was exposed to like where you could take a screenshot inside the game, where you could like
Oh,
capture a moment, you know. But then when our computer like stopped working, they just threw it out without like taking the taking the computer to like the store to retrieve the hard drive and the data,
oh wow.
and lost all that stuff, So that's when I kind of just moved on to The Sims. Like I'm not about to do all that again,
Yeah, I
you
got
know.
you.
I never got into the expansion packs though. I just kind of played the first Sims 2.
It's
I didn't get into pets or all these other expansion packs. But yeah, The Sims 2 was epic. People died on the land. It became a ghost. He had a little family graveyard, and man, I was just doing the most, bro. Just doing the most with it. So yeah, that is my pick. That's my first pick for tonight. The Sims 2. Um, Definitely an investment. Time that I'm never getting back, but it was kind of good memories. Kind of wish I was able to go back and find those screenshots from those old games I played, but that's neither here nor there. All right. All right, Ted, you're up. What we got next? What you got
well.
next for us?
I don't know why, but you reminded me of one of my first PC games that I ever got when I
Mm-hmm.
got one of them their computation devices that the kids were all raving about.
Mm.
Um, it's a game called Dear Avenger, and it
Dear
was
Avenger.
yeah, it was a parody of Deer Hunter. Um,
What's console?
I think it was PC. I remember playing on computer.
Oh, I'll put OC.
Yeah. But basically, you went around and like the humans.
Oh no. Shooting the
You know,
hunters.
yeah.
We do
Like
not
you.
condone violence on this show. But oh yeah. That look says it all. I love
But
all right, cool. Yeah.
well,
All right, break it
uh,
down. Break it down, Ted.
like you played the Deer Avenger, and you go and like you shoot people with tranquilizers. You know,
Mm-hmm.
bring them to a cabin and do unspeakable things to them.
Ooh,
Yeah,
have your way with them.
exactly.
Not sexually, I hope, because we don't condone that either.
It was. I think it was at least a PG game.
Uh-huh.
PG. You know.
Bambi is pissed.
Yeah,
He
but
is
it was
pissed.
kind of a fun tongue in cheek because you got all these different kind of tranquilizer guns. Like
Mm-hmm.
a trank Zuka, or
Trey Suka.
I think I because I remember like they have so many goofy varieties of stuff of guns,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, these were the hunters that stole your boo. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Man.
it was super fun. And like I said, I like a good parody game.
You ever watch The Sopranos?
I
You ever
here
watch The
and
Sopranos?
never got into it, but I see an episode here and there. Um,
There was an episode from season one where Tony Soprano took his daughter Meadow to visit colleges. It's called College.
uh,
And he ends up, while he's like, they're doing a cross country road trip to visit different colleges, he spots a former mafia member who ratted them out and joined witness protection, now living under his new assumed identity. So while his daughter Meadow is visiting a college campus, he goes nearby, like he tracks down where that witness protection guy was. Like he was selling like real estate out of a trailer, and he like shows up at a garret and just like chokes and just kills him. He looks like that guy right there. The deer looks like he literally like choked him with a garret. He looks just like him. So and then like Tony Soprano comes back to the college like, hey, how'd the tour go? And she's like, Dad, you got like a scratch right here. What's the blood right? No, it's not just I slipped on something. He looked just like him, bro. I don't know why I thought of that, bro. He looks like a. If you look up the show, it looks just like the guy Tony strangled. Oh man. Anyway, all right. Anyway, continue, Ted. I'm silly. All right, keep going.
character's name is Bambo,
Bambo, I like him already.
and he, like I said, he goes around and um, I played two of the earlier games because
Uh
there was
huh.
a and two. There was a Deer Avenger 3D, which I got,
Mhm.
but like a fool, I put it in my backpack and I dropped it at some point. And when I opened the compartment I put the CD in, it was shattered. And I was
Oh,
like, never got to play it. And I was so mad because
oh man.
it's not cheap, to say the least. um, but the first two games had a fantastic time with.
What? Man, yeah, I missed a. I'm sure I would have enjoyed playing this.
I
Exposed
tried to
to it.
play it, but
So you could like fire them. You could call them. You could. It's just different little combo moves you can do to mess with them.
oh yeah. I think like fart would stun them.
Hmm.
You get a better shot on them. And like I said, it's almost like Doom, where you unlock new weapons
Hmm.
and just hunt them down. Um, but yeah, super fun game. Very, very tongue in cheek kind of.
Okay. Okay. Obviously, you can't kill anybody, so I'm unalive, so we don't condone violence. But obviously, they're just getting slapsticked in every way. Nothing,
Well,
nothing violent here.
there is no bloodshed. Um,
Yes.
it's
No
all
blood was spilled.
it's all just good, just a fun parody of a popular game.
Yep. Yep. All right, guys. Once again, you're watching Comedian Video Game Commentary. Shout out to One Night Stands Comedy Club out here in Waterford, Michigan. And once again, this is where comedians and video games meet. We reminisce on our favorite video games, maybe games we're playing now. As you guys see, I have actually some of my old video games behind me. Goal of the show is we start growing and maybe building our budget up. We could start. I mean, we start hooking up some of these video games to actually play instead of us looking up gameplay online. And then, of course, any comedians that come in or comedy writers or comedic actors, they can like play a game for us. We've had people on the show like, Jay Panda, aka Brian Choi. He played his Half Life VR game, and we had other people come on and play stuff. But just for now, for some of us, we don't really game like we used to. We'll still go in here and play the commentary. All right, so I'm gonna go to my next one. It's gonna be a little two-parter, but I got to give it up for NFL 2K for the Dreamcast. This was a classic along with NBA 2K. So I'll play a little bit of NFL 2K, and then uh, I'll get to the NBA 2K. But basically, take it back to 99, 2000. You basically had NBA Live and Madden that was dominating, and there was a great documentary that came out. All right, sorry, I had to reset my. I'm recording for my reels and stories. All right, so my next pick is NFL 2K for the Dreamcast. I believe it dropped in '99, along with NBA 2K. All right, so taking it back for gamers like late '99, as far as anything NBA games wise, it was all about NBA Live. Anything NFL wise, it was all about Madden. Once again, I wasn't like a huge sports game player. I kind of played it and didn't really know the game of football like that. I knew just certain basic plays and certain positions, but all we knew was Madden. Madden dominated all the football games. And then all we knew when it came to the NBA games was NBA Live. So Dreamcast comes around, RIP Sega Dreamcast, and they did something revolutionary with 2K. I think that's Randy Moss from the Minnesota Vikings on the cover, and basically they came out with a game. And I think, to be honest with you, I haven't played in so long, so a lot of it's kind of escaping me. But I just would call it was a lot more user consumer friendly. Even people that weren't huge into football that really knew all the plays. Basically, it just had it where it was kind of easier to break down, easier to play the games, and I enjoyed it. I had 2K, 2K1, 2K2, and I think the same thing with the mechanics of NBA 2K. So I'm kind of interchanging them. So there's NFL 2K, and then there was NBA 2K. And I think, to be honest with you, this was kind of a disruptor because I think there was a Madden video game documentary that came out,
Mhm.
and basically they talked about there was a whole portion of that documentary that detailed everything from Madden video games from the late '80s to present. But there was a whole good 20-minute section where they talked about the disruption of the NFL 2K and the NBA 2K dropping. All
Oh
right.
wow.
So it was the same thing to where like it had an easier kind of mechanics and NBA 2K still goes on to this day, I believe. Um, and I think NFL 2K, I think they ended up getting merged back. I think Madden bought them off, or they licensed ESPN's name for like the NFL 2K4 version. They call it just ESPN football. So I don't think NFL 2K is around anymore. But yeah, NBA 2K. Oh, we got Ready to Rumble. We got to do that one too. But man, Jet Grind Radio. But yeah, so NBA 2K, and I probably had all the way up to like 2K3. I think introduced the game to a whole new different generation of people who probably just consider themselves they want to really play a basketball game. Oh, I remember that cover, the 2K5. Yep. Um, just because like the mechanics were a little easier. Like I had that for the Dreamcast as well. Oh, this took me back. Did you have the Dreamcast, Ted?
I had friends who had the Dreamcast, but we played the hell out of that thing. Whenever I'd go to my buddy's house, and I missed the Dreamcast. I loved it so much. I think
We
it
could
was.
do a whole, and we're gonna get into more themed shows as time goes on. That's a great thing if we do this every week. Not to say I'm gonna be here I'm gonna be here every week for a long time, until we build up an infrastructure. But even as we do this every week, like we could do whole Sega Dreamcast shows where we can just do just Dreamcast games, like the whole show. So I remember this distinctly when the Dreamcast, for whatever reason, something got reset or I took the memory card out. This same screen came on where you had to reset the date and the time. And I think this was the date of whenever your Dreamcast was manufactured.
Oh,
This screen just took me back. Do you remember that, Ted?
oh my gosh, man! I haven't thought about the Dreamcast in forever.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like this screen always came up, whether you yanked out the controller when you weren't supposed to, or the memory card came out, you had to reset the Dreamcast. Basically, this damn screen came up. You had to reset. Like this could have been 2003 or '05 or 2001, but you did the wrong thing. Like before you even play the game, you had to reset the settings. So I
I just
remember that distinctly.
I just remember the graphics on it
Mhm.
were better than I think the PlayStation and the
Oh
whatever
yeah,
Nintendo.
N64. Yep, by
Oh,
far.
but and I forget why they just kind of discontinued it. Um, I'm sure I've been told, but I don't remember. But
Yeah, yeah.
I was never a huge sports guy myself.
Mhm.
Um, but I do remember playing a lot of the sports games on because I have friends who are, and whenever they talk about it, I smile and nod. Um,
Mhm.
part of the conversation. Uh, I don't know what they're talking about most of the time. But what I would love to do, because I think you had character creation on a lot of these games.
Mhm.
That's what I enjoyed the most. I would make and you could just control like how big your arms and you can control the proportions on their body. So I'd make like tiny like a big
Mhm.
muscle, tiny legs, and
So you were ahead of the game. You were this is way before Fortnite. You were you were mixing it up way before that whatever crazy crazy combination you see on Fortnite. You were doing that 20 years ago. You were
oh
ahead of the
yeah,
game, Ted. You were just mixing crap up like you see the stuff people put together with their little Fortnite. I'm like, what? Who thinks of that? But
and you
anyway.
can change their stats too. So
Mhm.
I had this tiny guy who could always dunk. Um, and it was hilarious to watch to see him just like because he'd have to jump like 30 feet, you know, just to make it to the basket. Um, but yeah, I it was although I didn't care for sports that much. Those were fun. The sports games on the Dreamcast were good times.
And I just had to dive through the comments because the comments said it all. Even this one right here. I remember when the Sega Dreamcast came out in '99. The graphics were head and shoulders over others. It makes no sense why the Dreamcast failed. And I'm sure we could do plenty. There's plenty of breakdown videos. I think it was a combination of just uh I don't know, just some of the games they didn't have enough flagship games that took off sales wise. And then I think they couldn't justify the cost of manufacturing the Dreamcast
Yeah,
based on the low sales of the games. Even though a
right.
lot of the games went on to become cult classics,
Yeah,
so it was like where it changed the game. Like growing up playing games in the '90s, we would all look at the pixels of these games and go, like, man, you watch the cutscenes and go, man, I wish the whole game looked like the cutscene. The cutscene looked good, but the game
Oh,
just this pick, we can tell as we're playing. It's like this is all we got, but we were watching the cutscenes like, why can't the rest of the game look like that? And man, the
sure.
the the Dreamcast, it's a tragedy what happened to the Dreamcast,
It,
but
um,
mm,
quick, if anyone wants to look this up, and then I'll happily move on. But the game, there was a system that I felt was ahead of its time, and sadly, no one's heard of it.
mm,
Turbo.
Turbo
This
what?
Turbo Graphics was the name of the console, and uh,
Uh,
and it
what year
was
was
just,
this?
I want to say late '80s, early '90s,
Oh wow.
like competition with Sega and Nintendo, like the OGs.
Hmm.
But it was almost like the Sega Dreamcast of its day because the graphics were better.
Mm,
Actually, like you know how they couldn't do voiceover yet in the OG games,
mm,
so it was um, Turbo Graphics had voiceover
hmm.
games voiceover in it, and I was like, it's just mind blowing for the day, you know. Um, I don't know why that didn't go any further, but it was such a good system.
So this was like Sega Saturn. Are you talking about early '90s? Or are you talking about late '80s?
Uh, I think it's between that like late '80s or '80s. I'm not 100% sure where it was the timeline, but well, heck, I'll make that my third choice if we're ready to move on.
Yeah, might as
Uh,
well. It's just the two of us, bro. We can go. We could extra freestyle it. So this kind of looks. Oh wow, late '80s.
oh, it was late '80s. Okay, I knew it was an older system.
Wow.
But the OG game for it was called Bonk,
Uh huh.
and you were a caveman with a giant, and you had to fight these dino people by headbutting them. Um, and like whenever you got like enough meat, you could like do like a meteor. Like you can jump in the air and do a meteoric bonk, and
Uh
like it was kind of like how every video game has that clear the screen power
huh.
up. Yeah, it was essentially that. Um, that was a super fun game.
Wait, what's
Uh,
this 1973? What? I know it didn't come out that long ago.
oh, video games have been around for a while. I think like the first system was probably Pong.
Well, I'm saying the Turbo Graphics one. I guess they're talking about the genesis of what led to the Turbo Graphics. So,
Um,
because this is like a little retrospective they've done. So Hudson Soft looks like that was the name of the company. You know.
could have been
Okay.
because like I fun fact, Nintendo's been around since the 1800s. Uh,
Wow.
all making video games at that time, but they've
Well,
been
what
around.
were they were doing? Were they doing electric circuits back then, or the first, the first Edison light bulb? Shit, back then.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what they made. I just watched something on it not that long ago, and and but I want to say they were making like farm equipment or something.
Hmm.
But but then somehow they got into the video games, and yeah, that's worked out for them.
Turbo Graphics. All right. Any other thoughts you want to share about Turbo Graphics?
Um, there was
I
so
think
many
it.
good. I can't even remember. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the names of them. Like Bonk is the only one I can remember the name of. Um,
Okay.
but that's
Airzonk. Is that what you're talking about? Airzonk? I think I just saw it.
uh, I think that's a different game because Bonk, you're a
Devils.
king. Um, but yeah, they had like a lot of cool games for Turbo
Mm.
Graphics, and I'm baffled how that didn't take off. Um, I don't know.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna go next, and thanks for sharing that. This Turbo Graphics one, 'cause I had no idea. I had no idea. And once again, guys, you guys are watching Comedic Video Game Commentary here with my boy Teddy D over at for Premise Land. We kind of had the discussion about the Dreamcast, and there's been so many breakdowns about why the Dreamcast failed. It was like ahead of its time. It blew N64, PS2 out of the water. I mean, it blew the N64 and PS1 out the water. But
Oh
then
yeah.
PS2 came around and killed whatever momentum was left. You couldn't stop the machine of the PS2 dropping. But since we're on that, I want to share another game. You know, and it had almost the strength of the graphics of the Sega Genesis. This was a Sega as well. Do you remember the Sega Game Gear?
Oh. Oh gosh, that takes me back.
Yeah, Sega Game Gear, and I never had the pleasure to own it, but a friend of mine growing up, oh, don't call it a failure, but it was I think like the graphics, like it was like having the Sega Saturn game in your hand.
Oh,
Like the Sonic, like look at this, like the Son, the Sonic games, the Sonic games alone, like it was just almost like having like a Sega Genesis. You know, I love the Game Gear. I play that. My friend will let me borrow it and play it, and I know the Game Boy gets all the love and all the prestige, the Game Boy Color. But I'm telling you, the Sega Game Gear. Look, that's the Game Gear, bro. Don't that
wow.
look just like you're playing the Sega? You're playing the
That
Sonic Adventure One at home.
look-
Let me pull
well,
that back. Look at that.
that's that failed.
Look at that. Look
Um,
at that.
yeah,
That's the
that's
Game Gear. Yeah. And then I think we had like a Tiny Toons game on there. Uh, Lord.
uh,
Yeah. Do you remember the Game Gear at all?
I do. I now like man, I didn't play a lot of portable games because I don't. I think
Mm,
something small screens always gave me a migraine, so I
uh,
very well. Because like I would play Pokemon on my brother's Game Boy,
mm.
and I would give all the Pokemon inappropriate names. I got yelled at for that. But I couldn't play that long just because like such a such a headache
Mm.
uh, at a tiny screen. Um, but like I wanted to enjoy them. I just could not. I would get
It
sick.
happens. It happens. So yeah, I just had to mention the Sega Game Gear. All right, y'all. So we're probably gonna go. We'll probably go to another 10, 15 minutes. I like to. I try not to let our live shows go over like at least no more than like 2.5 hours. But at a minimum, we want to at least go at least an hour.
Okay.
Before we kind of wrap it up, since it's just the two of us. All right, so that's my pick, Ted. What do you got next as far as a video game? Something we could kind of reminisce about, maybe something more recent, or it could be another game from your childhood. You know.
To be honest, I don't play a lot of video games now.
Mm.
I do. Um, although I think one of the last games I played was God of War, just because
Oh,
a mythology, so I was excited about it.
the first one for the PS2, or when was the first one?
At least like the first three, you know, and including like the side games too. Uh, the games for the
But that was PS2, right? Or was it the 360?
I hmm, I think it was PS2.
Okay. All right. Well, I got it remastered right here. So I never, unfortunately, almost it's kind of a almost like with Assassin's Creed. I played one of those games before, but I know it's like a great game. I just kind of missed the boat on it. Same with Gods of War. You know.
Okay.
So break it down for me. What did I miss with Gods of War? I remember when it came out. I remember all the hype around it. PS2 days. So break it down.
Essentially, you play Kratos, who
Mm,
essentially sold his soul to Ares, the god of war.
mm-hmm.
He's tricked into killing his own family, and so in his rage, he goes on a quest to kill Ares. This is the first game,
Mm-hmm.
and so he does get a bit of help from the gods, and he fights like classical mythological monsters like minotaurs, like you're seeing now.
Mm-hmm.
But what I loved about the game is, again, I've said I'm a mythology buff, so they got some stuff
Mm-hmm.
right. Like for instance,
Right.
ladies with the that are snakes with snake hair and turn you to stone with their glare. They're
Mm-hmm.
not all. That was one person.
Mm.
They're called. That's the name of the race. Uh, that they made that distinction because it always bothered me because every time someone would see that particular creature, everyone's like, "Oh, that's a Medusa." It's like, no, Medusa was one. It was one person who was of that race. She was just popular, you know.
Oh, so yeah, even back then there was misgendering. Even those days.
It
Careful.
nerd rage in me, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of like
Can't be
get it,
can't, can't be misgendering folks. I mean back then, but now anyway.
Miss Myth. I don't know, uh, but
Ooh, it's a big boy. Get him.
yeah,
All right,
that's.
got him.
But it was just a fun game. If you like violence, it had plenty of that.
I love it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it was just like I always thought Kratos was one of those badass characters who he didn't die because he was just that stubborn.
Mm,
He dies in every game, but he just fights his way out of the underworld.
mm-hmm.
So, so he's essentially immortal due to just being that damn stubborn. And there's just something about that I love, where death comes from, and he's like, no.
You ain't the boss of me.
Like I tried to collect him, he beat the shit out of me. I don't know what to do. Uh, I guess we're just gonna leave him alone. But yeah, but I just love that it just
Mm,
not only have like it blended cutscenes and gameplay very well. The story was super interesting, and like I said, being mythology buff, I was just giddy when playing this game,
mm,
and I was so happy that they got so much right. That made me
mm.
because it drives me crazy when people like get your nerddom wrong. You know,
All right, don't you dare. What the? Look at that! Oh, look at that thing! Oh, the way he was running. Look at them legs. Little
that's
bow-legged. Who was that? Go back. I think I went back too far. Damn it.
oh,
What was that little orange thing? He had a little frog leg, little bow-legged frog leg, little
it's
orange bow-legged orange frog legs.
oh that thing. Oh
I
shit.
I went too far, or I don't know where it went.
All right.
That thing
The,
brought me joy, and whatever
yeah.
it was. All right, good pick, Ted. Good pick. All right. Okay, well I'm gonna we'll probably cap it after this.
Good.
But let me go ahead and share my pick. I'm gonna go back nostalgic again, as I
Okay.
tend to do, because I'm also not a big. I don't game anymore.
Right.
We got a comment.
Oh. Oh.
Not a good one.
Oh.
Spam, but I'm gonna share it anyway.
All right.
Uh, cheap followers on streamboo.com. I wouldn't click on that. You might get a virus. But thank you, Reddish Possibility, know, for the free attention. Appreciate that. He was on his last show.
Oh,
All right,
nice.
cool. So once again, guys, you're watching Comedian Video Game Commentary. I'm your host, Hayward Crawford. I'm a comedy writer, producer. Here with Ted ED, aka the Premise Land. Make sure to follow us. We do live streams on Fridays. Um, and we're gonna continue the show. Obviously, it's not October 24th. I screwed around and jumped. I clicked on the wrong StreamYard link that we had pre-scheduled. So obviously, it's not a month ahead of time. So just keep in mind of that. So we're gonna be wrapping up the show. We're gonna do one more pick since we're at the top of the hour. Just the two of us tonight, so we'll keep it short. Um, I gotta go. I gotta go back to a PC game as well, man. I'm gonna go back to where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Man,
I remember the game show.
the game show. I don't know. It doesn't quite do it justice versus the game, But oh yeah, it was a show. Wait, no,
It
I
had
remember the chief. The chief.
and there was Rockapella that did all the music.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all right, we're gonna stick to the game though. No
Sure.
shade, kind of shade to the show, but yeah. So I think the kids don't know about the Carmen San Diego. I think she had a great run in the '90s. Oh man, you just did it with the desktop. Uh, hold on, let's just break this down. Brownderbond, man, I remember that. Hold on. Oh, hold on a second, Ted. It's not letting me go back. Hold on. I literally can't go back. What's going on? Okay, here we go. All right. Classic right here. All right, 1999. So, yes, I think this was one of the sequels. This wasn't the first one because I remember also playing Where in Time as Carmen San Diego as well. That came a little later. Oh, yeah, this was, 90, 99, 96. All
Yeah.
right, so the computer, the desktop. Can we at least, does this bring back memories, bro?
Gosh.
Oh, man. My
That
computer, Internet Explorer.
I
Where I'm looking for America Online, AOL 4.0. Like, where is it?
I had one of them older computers, and like Carmen San Diego, I think I tried playing it, and my computer would just choke on it because it was too much memory. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, but
The sh- the
for
shortcut to CD-ROM.
yeah,
CD-ROM, man. Oh, those were days. All right, let's continue this. All right, so Carmen San Diego. Apparently, they've been trying to develop a live action movie. I think it's going to be a failure. They shouldn't do it unless they find a way to do it right. But I remember this. I remember this intro. Man,
I have my doubts.
was that?
My doubts. Usually, when I was like, "This is a popular IP," did you research it at all?
Hmm.
P. you know,
I gotta look that up. Like when they're doing the suspect description, does it say like thin and fat? Does it just like? Does it say like? Okay. Anyway, let me not get in trouble. So we got
yeah.
the chief on here for the youngins. The chief on here explaining what you need to do. Sassy, don't mess with the chief. You know, she was a great actress. She died some years ago. But yeah, I mean, running around getting clues. Like this was I would like to say I can't say if the same games nowadays like a Roblox or a Fortnite. I haven't played the game, so maybe I'm biased. But I don't know if there's the same comprehensive critical thinking like mystery puzzle stuff. I don't know. I just feel like more of the games now is just RPG fight slash. I don't know if there was something as entertaining as this where you're learning about different history, you know. Weight, thin, average, heavy. Okay, they went heavy.
Yeah.
All right. Gender. But I don't know. Like, so what was your experience, Ted, with Carmen San Diego?
I didn't like I said, I didn't get to play the game much just because I think my computer couldn't handle it at the time.
My
So
condolences. Yeah.
I could get to an intro and then it would just freeze, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm playing this. But but I'd see it here and there, and it
Mm-hmm.
looked fun. Like I said, I watched the show. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to see if I was smarter than the kids on there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you're taking different clues. You're going to different like countries, and they're playing like the ethnic music, whatever that country is. You're like, you're investigating, asking different people, and then when you get enough clues, like it starts to narrow it down, just like in Clue, like the game Clue, and
yeah,
then like, oh, let me go back over here. There's only this shady skinny woman. It's not adding up. And then there's like the little gags, like these janitors that do little stupid things. I forgot what that gag is like, but yeah, I think there's not. They don't make I don't think they make mystery games like this anymore for kids. I don't think they'll make them like they used to. That's
like
all I'm gonna say.
an educational game that didn't feel like an educational game, and I think cool about it.
Yeah,
Um, it tricked you into learning.
exactly. It tricked you into learning, and you had fun with it. You're learning about countries. You're learning about different places. You know, and it's like, damn, they did teach me something. Damn it. you know, Oh man. So, all right, that's all I got. Um, all right, I think we're gonna. Ted, do you have any other last picks you want to share tonight before we wrap up the show? It's a
Speaking of,
shorty, but it was a goodie. You know.
speaking of fun educational games, I'd have to go with Number Munchers. I don't even know if you remember. That's
Never
old
heard of it. Is this a PC game too?
game. Um,
What PC?
Number
Okay.
Munchers. Uh, you were like this frog thing that would go along a grid, and you had to find multiples of a number, and you had to
Uh,
eat, or monsters came and ate you. Like it was like Pac-Man, but with math.
damn, Ted, you are old. Jesus Christ. Okay,
True,
I see.
but like I remember, I had so much fun with this. I I think I lost most of the time just because I'm shit at math, but you know, it was still a fun game.
If a frog could stand on two legs.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it could be some different creature, but I always thought it was a frog. Frog,
Yeah, it looks like it.
but like
And they
eventually monsters would come and try and eat you, so you had to like do the numbers faster. Uh, but yeah, I had a great time with it.
and
I know
once again that game tricked you into learning, right?
bastards,
Yeah, god damn it.
but no, it was a surprisingly fun game. Um, I just yeah, like you said, I just don't see enough games like this, you know. And it would have and it would have animations in between levels.
Mm,
This is OG cut scheme.
yeah, I mean having a bad day. A giant meatball with legs.
Like that's I just had to mention it just because like Carmen Sandiego brought back so much. But yeah, there wasn't much more to the game than you ate numbers and tried not to get eaten.
Okay. All right, interesting pick. A number munchers. Never would have thought. Never would have thought. There's so many games out there, y'all. We keep the show going for a while.
Yeah.
But we only gonna limit it to 2 hours once a week. All right. All right, guys. So Ted, stick around a bit. I gotta close out the show. We're gonna go off video on mute for a few minutes. But everybody, thanks for watching Comedian Video Game Commentary. We'll be back next week. As of now, Comedy Club unknown, but we're gonna be back with comedian Malachi Lee. Also, his lovely wife Danielle Lee will be dropping into the show. So definitely make sure to join us next week as well. We're gonna keep comedians coming in and video games coming out. All right. So, Ted, anything else? You got anything you want to plug? Any shows coming up? Anything to let the audience know?
I will hopefully get back to my series Sodomalier. I've been
Hmm.
trying first the pilot of my sister series with pop pairings.
Hmm.
That where I take my meals or fast and turn it into fancy cuisine to pair with your pop. That's soda for non-Michiganders.
Okay.
So stay
And
tuned
this
for
is
that.
a this is a sketch comedy series, or what was this?
It's a small series I do. I play a character called Cecil Civil, and I taste lesser known sodas because
Okay.
so. And then I have a show called Just for Kids, Warning Not for Children, where I take R-rated, more spicy movies, as I like to call them, not adult films, but like R-rated films, and I
Mm.
try to kid-friendly fairy tales as a character called Tom Picklefeather. So more of that's coming out soon. So
Mm. Uh, can't make this stuff up, y'all. All right. So, all right, Ted. Thanks for the update. Thanks for dropping in. Once again, comedian video game commentary. We do our live show hangs on Fridays about 7:30. Obviously, we had a little later start tonight, but we'll just say Friday nights. All right. Um, and we will see you next week. Have a good one. Peace.
peace.